We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Red Clay, it is peach hot sauce with a little south in your mouth. The red clay changes you. I don't think you're supposed to eat the red clay, but don't eat the Play-Doh. So you can shake, pour, share, or don't share. And we've got some verbiage here. Alright, you know the South Red Clay, you never forget it, apparently. Flavor profile. This is kind of an interesting way of doing this, where they highlight certain words. I don't think there's enough words, and this is actually as completely incorrect as it could be. It is not particularly what I would call medium. Nor is it especially sweet, but I'm sure that's what they were going for. So we have peaches blended with sorghum syrup and habanero peppers for a sweet surprising kick. There's no kick in this. That's not true. All right, so we start with the white grain sorghum extract, which is the sugar component. We've got apple cider vinegar. We've got peach puree concentrate, salt, water, smoked pepper mash, which is the habaneros, salt, and acetic acid. So the main flavor is actually this, the apple cider vinegar. And depending on how much you like apple cider vinegar is going to determine how much you like this sauce. The first thing is a sweetener, the second thing is vinegar, and then is peaches after that. So with that sort of thing, that's the main two things. It's not blending into something, it is that something. And there's not a lot of peach flavor in this, nor is there particularly a lot of heat, but you can see little bits of what I'm assuming are probably peppers there. You can see it's a pretty loose sauce. Not quite to the point where you would need a restrictor cap, but have to be a bit judicious. It's very syrupy. It pours kind of like almost like a pure maple syrup, or a Tirani or something like that. And we can see visually here, it is a sort of lighter to medium brown as far as coloration goes. It's too loose. This is kind of one of the many problems with the sauce, but this is one of them, is that it is way too loose. It doesn't like to stick to things. It likes to run on things, which is kind of a nuisance, a hindrance to using it. But to be honest with you, as soon as this video is done, I'm binning this. I'm not using this anymore anyway. I've gone through maybe not quite half the bottle, and I could just staring at this here, I'm getting waves of apple cider vinegar. So if you're one of the apple cider vinegar freaks, this might be something of interest to you. If you're not one of those persons, then I will say you can very safely skip this sauce. But anyway, let's get into it. Oh, that is revolting. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. So sauces like this are what make me really leery when I see apple cider vinegar used. Oh man, this is repulsive. It's certainly not the worst sauce I've ever had. There's a lot of other sauces that are much, much worse than this. I don't ever want to use this again. I don't want to use it now. It's going to be straight with you guys. but it is not unpalatable enough that that I'm not going to film it. So I have goals to try to do a film video for every single written review I've done in a year. And I missed it the last couple of years by 1 or 2 sauces. This thing almost made me miss it for 2022, but it's not bad to that extent. I just don't want to use it any further than this. It's not a good sauce. It doesn't taste good. It's kind of funny when I open this up. Normally I open up one sauce at a time, and I'll try to get a feel for that before I open the second one. This one, I opened this, and I went, oh, no, that's no good. I opened the second one, and I went, I'm on a bad roll here. So I wound up actually having to open a third sauce, which is very, very unusual. Usually, like 2 is I have done that semi-regularly, and that still is pretty infrequent, but more than that it's kind of bad. It's kind of unusual to get that many that I feel like I'm forced to open it up to get more actual good tasting sauces. All right, so not getting really a whole lot of peach out of this or heat. I don't know why they called it a hot sauce, other than I guess that's a fruit that's in it. But so here we have, this is a pork cube steak that I grilled last night. Look at how beautiful it is. Just gorgeous. I'm loving these pork cube steaks. All right, let's wreck it here by pouring this stuff on it. And it stinks. It stinks of apple cider vinegar. Because, there's nothing more appetizing than having a vinegar that smells of feet. Okay, let's just get into this. My poor beautiful... I really need to sharpen it. I need to be able to track this throughout these videos about me keeping saying on about how I need to sharpen my knives. One of these days I'm going to actually remember to do it. My beautiful pork cube steak. Ruined. I'd really hope that with the cracked pepper I had on here that it might improve things, but no. And I grilled with this too. I get that they want another product to sell. They use honey, apple cider vinegar, and habaneros in their honey, which to me is not really a hot honey at that point. When you're putting vinegar in your honey, why? What is the point of that? I don't want vinegar and honey. I want honey. I don't understand why someone would do that. It just dilutes the honey flavor. Man, this is a struggle. Holy moly. This tastes to me like somebody came up with a formula, probably small batched it, and sent it off somewhere to be made, and then just bottled without actually being tested, taste tested. Just not conceivable to me that somebody would have this and go, oh yeah, that's good. There's not a lot of 0 rated sauces on the video series here. This is one of them. The AR's Hot Southern Honey Hot Sauce, also peach, was also bad. So I'm kind of thinking now that maybe honey makers should just stick to that and not try to play around in hot sauces. But also, it cuts out Red Clay here from me having any interest at all in doing their honeys. Like I said in the written review, it's available down in the description down below if you want to read it. Very extensive, not very glowy. But I'm glad I came across it because I mean, I'm not thrilled that, you know, I spent $4 on a sauce I'm not going to actually finish, but on the same token, that just saved you about $30 in hot honey. Take the positives where I get them, I guess. Even as an action, I tried to have just a little bit on this piece. And it is not great. One thing I will say about this pork cube steak is they're very solid the day of when you grill them. But the next day, they don't stand to the microwaving very well. So a little something to take a note of. Beef cube steak does that way better. Obviously, it's a higher fat content usually. Alright, well, here we are at the end of this. This is a bad sauce. It is not particularly sweet, not particularly hot. I've got a little bit of a tingling from the black pepper. That's what I've got right now. Nothing from the habaneros. It essentially tastes like the sweetener, which is that sorghum extract. I've never had that before prior to this sauce. I can't really judge that though, so I don't have a frame of reference for that. But the sweetener with the apple cider vinegar as a 1-2 punch is not enjoyable at all. And peach doesn't really read through this in there either. If you're going to have a peach hot sauce, here's what I feel. Start with that. Start with peaches. And then you can do other stuff if you want to. The best peach hot sauces always start with that. They always lead with that. This one leads with nonsense. And that's ultimately what you wind up with as a final result here. So, but this is the Red Clay Peach Hot Sauce.
Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.